Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Realer Sports In Depth. I'm Peter Rosenberg, and I'm very excited today and honored to have Eric LeGrand joining me. Thank you so much for coming, man.
What's going on, man? How are you?
No, it's a pleasure, bro. I want to talk a lot about things you have going on for people who may not know. Eric has a very famous story. He was playing at Rutgers. What year were you at Rutgers?
I was a junior the year I got hurt, 2010.
2010, and what game was it?
It was the Army game, 6th game of the season, and we were playing over at MetLife Stadium, and just running down in the fourth quarter with 5 minutes left in the game. We just tied it up, 17-17 to make a tackle. Next thing you know, I'm laying there paralyzed, not even knowing at the time.
Now, so that obviously is a lot of Eric's story. But I want to get into some details about it because it's been incredible to watch your fight and your improvements. Let's start right at the beginning. What's the first thing you remember after the tackle?
First thing I remember was hitting the ground. Like, it felt like I was just, as soon as I hit the guy, next thing you know, I was hitting the ground. I don't even remember falling, just hitting the ground. And the first instant, I couldn't breathe. Felt like I knocked the wind out of myself. Little did I know at the time I paralyzed my diaphragm, but I'm laying there just trying to catch my breath, and kind of got freaked out because I knocked the wind out of myself before, but you usually walk it off, but I couldn't get up and move at the same time.
So you right away you knew I can't get up.
Yeah, I knew right there. I was trying to get up. You can see me wiggling my head a little bit, trying to get up, but that's all I had. And all of a sudden, I have all these trainers running up to me, is it your head or your neck? And I'm like, I can't breathe. That's all I was worrying about, just trying to catch a gasp of air. I thought I was going to die right there.
And did they know right away, any of your trainers know right away that this could be pretty bad?
They knew it was pretty serious. Everyone could tell just by the way I felt. I felt so stiffly. Everyone was like, this is, pretty bad. They were hoping that I was knocked out, thinking it was just a concussion. But when they got to me, and I remember Coach came up to me, Coach Schiano at the time, he came running up to me, he was just, Eric, you got to pray. And when he told me that, I was like, is that all I could do? That freaked me out,
Absolutely.
I'm laying here, I can't move, I can't breathe, and you just tell me to pray. I'm thinking, it's all over.
So you must have watched, we've all seen games before when injuries like this happen, right?
Yeah.
You've seen it on TV before where you're praying for the guy and then all of a sudden you're that guy.
Yes.
It must be a surreal feeling. Could you feel the stadium get quiet?
Yes, I remember. I heard the last thing I heard was the stadium, ooh, because it was a big hit, and then everything just got silent because I was just laying there and everyone was waiting for me to get up and start cheering and everything, and I couldn't get up. That's the only time I've never been able to get up in my career.
What did anything go wrong? What happened on the tackle specifically when you went back and watched it?
I'm glad you asked that. The way I was running down there, the whole game I was facing a double team right from the start, and I broke through the double team, so I had about a 40-yard run right at the guy. And as I was running at him, I was aimed up to hit him right in his chest. But one of my teammates actually got there before me. They kind of tripped him up a little bit. So when I lowered my head, I should have kept my head up. I lowered my head, think I was going to hit him with my shoulder. His body got twerked around, and as my head came down, hit right on top of my head with his shoulder blade, and my head got too far extended. And
so you hit his shoulder?
His shoulder blade. I hit his back because I thought I was going to hit his chest. Twisted around, and I'm thinking I'm going to hit him right in his chest, and my head went down, shoulder blade right to the top of my head. My head got too far extended, broke.
But I mean, even hearing that, it still sounds like it so easily could have not happened.
Oh yeah, if I had a little bit, an inch up, I would have been fine. That's just the way it is. That's why I know everything really does happen for a reason. Because inch up or inch lower, I would have been just fine. But it hit, of course, right on the direct spot, which left me laying.
So you get to the hospital, and when do they tell you that this is pretty bad?
At the hospital, I really pretty much don't remember anything because they put me on the oxygen mask, and I thought when you get on the oxygen mask, you could breathe again. You see on TV and stuff, you think you can breathe. No, I went to take a deep breath. I was like, nothing happened. It was all the oxygen was breathing for me, but it's an uncomfortable situation. So I get to the hospital, I'm all dazed. I have no idea what's going on. I'm pretty much blacked out. But I remember that my mom had told me, and the one doctor came out right from the initial prognosis. They're like, all right, this guy's never going to walk again. He'll never eat solid foods, never breathe on his own, probably never live a normal life. This and that, you're going to have to make this adjustments. And he told my mom that right away. And then the one doctor who came out after that, it's not that bad. Like, it's, good things can happen. And he told my mom also, he may die from the procedure. He may not make it through this. This can happen. This may pop.
So at the beginning, it's wide open.
Oh,
it could be anything from you have absolutely nothing, no ability to do anything anymore except maybe live, or even die.
It'd pretty much be a vegetable. They said I had a 0 to 5% chance of gaining any neurological function back. And at the time, I was pretty much stuck to the bed like this, could barely even move my head.
But your brain the whole time, once you're awake now, your brain is totally functioning normally. So
Yes.
you're able to process everything that's going on.
Oh yeah, I can process everything. You know, they just had me so drugged up on stuff. That's why I didn't know what was going on.
How scary is that feeling when you can see everything and you know in your head what's going on? Could you speak?
No, I couldn't speak, and then they put me out. Like they took me 3 times to go. I was not going. I was too nervous. They're like, all right, we're gonna try to knock you out so we do the surgery. They hit 1 dose. I was like, nah.
Didn't want to go to sleep.
Hit the 2nd dose, and I was like, nah, you ain't put me to sleep. Then they did some. I don't know what they did. The 3rd one, gone.
And you were out.
I was out, and I really don't remember anything until Wednesday when I woke up and my room was just covered with posters from people like Joe Paterno, Bill Belichick, the New York Giants, everyone just reaching out. I was like, everyone's reaching out to me my whole life. I just wanted to get on SportsCenter for something. Now I have my room filled with stuff from all over the NFL, college football, all these different banners, all of Rutgers, just everyone just reaching out. I was like, this is crazy. And my mom wouldn't let anybody in the room that was negative. So I really had to know what had happened because all the drugs that they had me on and me just blacking out from, I guess when they put me out. And everyone was just coming to my room like, yeah, you're going to be fine. You're going to be all right. This is going to happen. I'm like, all right. I'm like, all right.
And are you talking
right.
yet at this point or no?
At this, yeah, I'm talking.
Once you woke up after surgery by Wednesday, you could speak.
Yes, but it was like I had tubes going down my throat. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to be all right. Like things like that. It was very low.
And nothing can move still.
I was just my head just like this.
You could have, okay, a little bit.
A little bit of my head movement.
But did they tell you right away, hey, surgery was good, this is a positive start?
Yeah, well, at first it was a 9-hour surgery. They went in through the front and through the back, and then they said that they looked at it and they're like, no, we're not satisfied. Went through the front and through the back again. It took a whole total 9. It shouldn't have took that long, but they wanted to make sure everything was perfect. And they did a tremendous job because if you can see an X-ray in my throat, looks just like anybody else's. Sometimes I've heard with spinal cord injuries, you can see bolts and nails. All if you look at an X-ray going through, and mine
Yours looks good.
Mine's just perfectly.
So what was the official injury that?
I fractured my C3, C4 vertebrae, and like a 0.5% chance of getting any neurological function back lower than that. And the C3 level is pretty much you can turn your head and maybe move. I may, if you're lucky, move a little bit of your shoulder. But now you can see me. I can move my.
Well,
I can move all.
You can dance like Diddy now. All you do is this.
We bopping in the club.
Yeah, exactly. So then, at that point, you can just move your head, and they tell you expectations are maybe you could move more.
Maybe move my shoulders if I was lucky. 0 to 5% chance of moving my shoulders or anything back. And I've had twitches through all my fingers with all the therapy that I've been doing.
So you've gotten now, and it's now been how long?
Oh, it's been 2.5 years. About October 16th will be 3 years, and it's been a grind. But from what they told me, They told me I've been on a ventilator the rest of my life. Came off in 5 weeks. I was off the ventilator. You can see the child still have the scar. Mm-hmm. Came off in 5 weeks, and it's been a true blessing.
So your breathing's fine?
Oh yeah, I can breathe on my own. The coughing's sometimes a little bit difficult, but now I've managed my muscles. I managed to get them to my abdominal.
Difficult in what way? Like
to get it up. Usually you cough, your abdominal muscles just kick in.
Right.
With me, the signal's not getting down to them. So
you feel that you want to cough?
It comes up, but it's like I gotta choke it up sometimes, but hey, I get it up there.
Got it. So I didn't even think about. You don't even think about functions like that.
Internal functions. That's why I always try to be an advocate for spinal cord injuries because there's so many functions that people don't know about. Like even sneezing. When I first started sneezing, it was like, achoo, because it sounded terrible. They used to make fun of me because I have no force to. Boo, push it out. I didn't have it at first.
You're like, I can't be out here weak sneezing like this.
People laugh all the time about it, but there's so many things that go on internally that people don't know about that I always try to, make them aware of. Like I said, like cough and things like that. Getting things up because I used to have the trach in my throat and I have an assisted cough in there and you have to suck out the phlegm. It was disgusting, but fortunately I was blessed enough to be able to regain some of those muscles to allow me to breathe on my own, cough it up on my own, get it up.
So what's your goal now? What goals?
My goal,
do you have?
I said, little goals every day. Just anything I can get back is a victory for me. I take, playing football, you train all year round and you get 12 or 13 games if you're lucky in the season for college football. Meanwhile, through those other days that you're training for, it's a grind. So every time I say I get a victory back. If I get to move my finger a little bit or lift up my arm like this or lean forward and be able to bring myself back, those are victories for me. Meanwhile, during the grind process, like every day in my therapy, if nothing happens, those are just my practice days, those days I'm in the weight room, or those days when I'm conditioning out in the field. That's how I take my therapy every day. It's just those grind days, and then when something does happen, that's my victory right there. When I
What time during the day do you are you doing
I'm in there
rehab?
from 12:45 until about 4 o'clock every day.
Every day.
Yeah, Monday through Friday. That's my schedules. And like I said, I'm doing motivational speaking sometimes. So some days I have to miss. Got to make a career for myself too. But majority of the days, Monday through Friday, I'm in therapy.
So right now you look at everything as just little goals. Maybe get finger movement and take it one step at a time, and then extend the goals as they come.
Exactly. Extend them as they come because, doctors, they just look at statistics and they say this and that, but they don't know, the heart, the faith, the passion that somebody really has and that work ethic that they put in this stuff. And the spinal cord world is all neuro stuff. It's all out there. No one really knows what can happen and how a body heals. And my body's healed from where I was before to where I am today. It's tremendous. I wouldn't have been able to sit here back 2.5 years ago, being able to sit here talking to you. I'd have leaned myself. People also, I want to talk about this blood pressure. You sit normally. You sit up. When you get up too fast, and like get dizzy. That happens with me. But the brain tells the signal, all right, you need blood back to the head. With spinal cord injuries at a certain level, you get up sometime, or like you sit up too far straight, and the brain's trying to tell the blood to come back up to the head. It doesn't happen. You have to lean back, or otherwise you'll pass out. Happens all the time.
Just from leaning?
Just from sitting up straight. Because the blood's not flowing to the head. It's going all dropping down. And the brain's trying to tell the signal, but where you broke your neck to, wherever the neurons and all that, it's not getting the signal up to your brain. And it's hard. So I was fortunate enough to get that recovered too, because I can sit up straight. I'm sitting here talking to you back before. I had to lean my chair all the way back.
So right now you're controlling sitting up straight.
Yeah, I'm good. I got control of all of my upper body.
So what's the hardest part? What are the things that you have to do day to day that make you go, this is tough. I'm having one of those days.
The hardest part is definitely just getting in the morning, getting ready. I have a nurse and a nurse's aide that come in. My nurse is there for 3 hours. My aide's there for 8 hours with me, and just being able to get up and be ready in 20 minutes, be able to get out the house in 20 minutes. This whole process goes through bowels. Got to get the shower, like bowel movements. Got to take a shower. Have somebody help me, assist me, do everything pretty much, because I can't do it myself, and it takes about 2.5, 3 hours in the morning. So
what about this? Is something this is personal, but I think it's important to ask. I think people wonder about it. What about like the pride stuff and like just how you deal with your own pride and having to have people assist you in the bathroom and things like that? Because I imagine when someone goes through something like this, those are probably some of the early experiences. That like, what the how am I going to deal with this?
Exactly. It was in the beginning. I'm like, I have somebody else washing me up. Like, this is kind of awkward. This is usually my privacy time. You take a shower, you're by yourself. Collect your thoughts. Now I have somebody having to help me up. But
how did you deal with though? How did you do you have a closeness with that person, or is it
you gain after a while you gain your trust over a person, and that's what I've gained my trust over people. I work with them every day, and this is just a situation I'm in. But every day I see people in 10 times worse situations than I'm in, and that's why I don't complain. I appreciate everything I have. I may not be able to walk or nothing, but everything I've been able to do, sitting here with you on the radio, there's so many people out there that are in my situations that all they do is go home and they sit in their room all day, go to therapy the next day, go back home, sit in their room all day, things like that. That gets you depressed. Me, I'm all over the place, traveling all over the world.
You have a lot of blessings. You get to go speak to other people and inspire people. So tell me a little bit about that. And again, of course, you have the walk this Saturday. Give them the basic information for the walk on Saturday.
Okay, the walk on the Saturday is my third annual Walk to Believe, which Arlene Gonzalez is just a random person I've met after I got hurt, who's just been a sweetheart. Her whole family, that she put together this first walk to help my mom and I raise funds for us at first in the beginning because my mom stopped working, and bills don't stop, and you need the bills to get paid, which the Believe Fund was set up through Rutgers, and that's where the money was going. Now we're splitting the portions. Some of the money's going to my Believe Fund, and now we're getting to spinal cord research and clinical trials to get them over here in the USA because believe we might have a cure for paralysis and people up on their feet walking again. So the money's going to split both ways, but this is going to be the third annual one, and the more people that come out, the more better. Just show your appreciation. It starts at 10 o'clock. If our online register is, you can't do it online anymore, so you have to actually be there in person, and that starts at 8 o'clock until the walk starts at 10, and the opening ceremonies are there, and it's going to be a great time. We've had try to get 1,000 people out there just to come walk. It's a 5K walk, 3 miles. And just show your support for me, show your support for everyone else out there that are in my situation, and just try to help them out, because there's so many things, like I said, that people don't know with this injury that is affected. Like I said, just coughing, sneezing, blood pressure, things like that.
And what is your message generally when people go out and get Eric LeGrand to come speak to their organization? First of all, what kind of places, what kind of people do you speak to, and what are some of the messages you like to pass on?
I've been all over. I spoke in Vegas for Pfizer Pharmaceuticals. I spoke for Stryker Spine, which hands out equipment for people in my situation. I spoke for electrical companies, credit card bureaus, all over. Because I'm a client of IMG, and they help me out with all my speaking engagements. And somebody that just needs a motivational speaker, I just go in there. I just basically try to tell people to appreciate what you have and not what you don't have, and focus on being the best person you can be, not worrying about what somebody else is doing in life. And like I said, if I can't complain about anything, why should somebody else complain? I can't even move my foot right now to walk, but people complain about sitting in traffic.
But you do have the fly Jordan 11 on the feet.
I do. Like I always say, I always got to keep my shoe game fly, I have the most pair of shoes for somebody who can't even walk. You're gonna see me at the walk. I said You're gonna
have some. You're gonna have some.
I have my LeBron Volts on Saturday. So,
you'll be LeBron head?
Yeah, I'm actually a Jordan fan, and grew up a Kevin Garnett guy.
Really?
Kevin Garnett's my guy. And so
love Garnett.
It hurts when I play with LeBron and then the Heat come and beat my Celtics.
I'm a Celtics fan too.
See, the only reason I'm a Celtics guy is for
KG?
Kevin Garnett. That's my man.
Are you gonna stay with us after KG retires?
We'll see. Because the New York Knicks, they be showing me a lot of love out there when I go to the games.
Well, you got teams fighting for your affection.
They
it's
show
different.
me a lot of love when I go to the games, but right now KG die hard until he's gone, and after that.
You'll see. You're a free agent after that.
I'm a free agent. Yeah, I like that. So I'm a free agent fan.
Now, what was it like? I was so touched. I think all sports fans were so touched that day that Tampa Bay drafted you. Did you expect it? Did you know that they were going to make that gesture, or was it just...
I had no clue. Actually, Coach Schiano called my mom the day before and told her, and she had to keep her secret. My mom's usually not good at keeping secrets, but she kept it from me. So Coach Schiano calls me up, we're just talking to regular, how you doing? They're sitting at house school, and then all of a sudden, and then right before he ends, he goes, I want to sign you as a free agent. I was the Tampa Bay roster, as the 90th man on the roster. And I'm like, Coach, you sure you want to do this? I can't even play it down. Like, you want to waste a spot on me? He goes, it's the least we can do. The whole organization's behind this. We want you to be a part of this organization for life. We want all of our players to represent what you do and be a part of what you do. And just signing you on the team is just something, the least we can do. I'm like, Coach, man, you made my dream come true. That was my draft year. This is the year I would have been drafted into the NFL, and he made my dream come true. Even though I couldn't play it down, I can always say I retired as the Tampa Bay Buccaneer because I retired a few months later. Now you can always find my name on the roster on that
so
team.
Now do the Buccaneers have a very special place in your heart? I'm guessing that's...
Now they do. I grew up a Denver Broncos. See, I'm all over. I grew up a Denver Broncos fan. Terrell Davis was my guy, and I still root for him, die hard, but Tampa Bay, man.
That's your NFC squad.
That's my see. That's what I always say. I got my AFC NFC squad, but those are my my guys on there. I've been down there 6 times last year for a game. So I've been down there probably close to 8 times now since they picked me up last year in May. So
well, now let me ask you a football question about Coach Schiano. A lot of people got on him
in New York
for that play. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm a Redskins fan, so I had no.
Okay,
I had nothing.
all over the place.
I'm all over the place too. I didn't have any dog in the race. But for people who don't know what we're talking about, there was a play. It was against the Giants.
Versus the Giants.
It was late in the game against the Giants, and basically some people felt the game was sort of out of reach, but technically it wasn't. And Coach Schiano had basically, on a play that was an attempted kneel down by the quarterback, trying by any means necessary to force the fumble, and this is a tactic that he used at Rutgers as well. Is that correct?
Exactly. We always, in our meetings, every time before a game, we always go over that play just in case we're put in that situation where we're down and we got to, try to get the ball back real fast. They're going to take a knee. We're not giving up. We're trying to get the ball back. So I'm sitting up there with my family. They gave us a nice suite. I'm up there. I'm like, I know the situation again. I'm like,
and you thought he was going to do it?
I said to him, I said, I wonder if he's going to do it. I saw them line up. I'm like, here it comes right before they even snapped it. As soon as they snapped it, boom, knocked him out. I'm like, he's still the same guy.
Did it ever work for you guys?
It has worked for us plenty of times, and even in practice it worked a lot, and even in the games it worked a few times for us. So it shows,
What did they tell you to do? What was your what position did you play, by the way?
I played nose guard.
You were nose guard.
I was one of the guys that would hit the center.
I was about to say. So what would they tell you? What would be?
It's a technique. You just try to separate the center's butt from the hands. So you try to lift him up real fast so the ball will fall right to the ground, and you got people that are on the ground ready to dive right on it when it happens. It's a whole formula we have set up that we've trained up really hard for. So
I just can't understand why it could be considered bad sportsmanship if the game is still in question.
I didn't think it was.
I don't get it.
Because if they would have got the ball back, they'd have been like the 30, 35-yard line. They were down to touchdown.
Why should you give up?
Exactly.
Why should,
I don't think so.
I don't see how kneeling should be like, oh, well, you can't do anything if they decide to kneel. I think that ruins the competition of sport.
Exactly. And now people are expecting this. So now people are more aware of it, and they shouldn't complain about it anymore. It's the first time I think it's ever happened in professional football when they were doing it like that. So, but like you say, you don't give up when you're down 7 points, and if you get the ball back, you're in their territory. You can score just on a 35-yard pass to Vincent Jackson.
You never know.
For the ball too.
So your goal now is to be a commentary guy.
Yes.
Color, is that your thing? You want to be a color guy?
Commentary. I do the pregame, halftime, and postgame show. I've been doing that with Rutgers Radio. It's gonna be my third year, and I'm really enjoying it. It's not as easy as it looks breaking down football games. You can't make a mistake too on the radio like that. You're their eyes. The people that are watching the game, you're their eyes. So you have to get football 101, break it down to them. You can't say football terms that you may know. You have to break it down to simplest things that.
So are you on the sideline on headset?
No, I'm actually in the booth.
You're in the booth. Okay.
I'm in the booth watching the game from up top, and I've enjoyed it. It's not easy, but I've been getting better and better at it. I've always wanted to do it, so this is my passion. So I'm gonna work as hard as I can to be the best.
And that's cool. I mean, I'm sure that was something obviously you didn't plan on doing for a long time. Would you have had? Is it a guarantee that you would have had an NFL career? Was that the pace you were on?
Yeah, pretty much. I was on, to go into the NFL. Definitely would have made a team, some team. Playing special teams that bulked up even bigger to play defensive tackle, but I really believe I would have been.
You probably should have gone. So you would have thought that you wouldn't have ended up in this position you're in doing commentary for probably into your 40s.
Exactly.
Something like that.
I was expecting to have a long career in the NFL,
but people, it is a blessing that people looked out and give you an opportunity to start learning this at such a young age.
Oh yeah, SNY they took care of me. They brought me in the studio. I remember my first year after I first got hurt, and they had me breaking down games with them. And then I got to work with Rutgers Radio. They've been great with me, Nelligan Sports, and hiring me just to go in there and just share my passion and what I love. And I would bring a good perspective to the game because I was one of those players just out there 2 years ago playing.
Well, not only that, but I can also tell there are a lot of people who played the game who aren't necessarily eloquent when it comes to speaking about the game, but you have a good personality. You're charismatic. I think it's a great fit for you.
It definitely helps me out. I love being around the game of football. People ask me how do you watch football? This is the game that made me who I am today, made me the man I am today. I have no remorse towards it. I love just being around it. I don't like the cold. That's another thing. Being in my situation, I can't regulate my body temperature anymore. Mm-hmm. So I'm always cold, and so it's tough during those away games. I mean, November, October. That's why I bring my little personal heater with me.
I was about to say, because those are as you get on and on, you're gonna have some days you're gonna be covered in blankets.
Exactly. I bring my personal heater that blows on me, and I love it. And so does Ray Lucas as I'm sitting in there in November.
He's got it.
He's like, let me slide over, eat. Let me get some of that. And so it's a good time. When Chris Carr has that big old window wide open, I'm like, you can shut that a little bit. He's like, sweating over here. I'm like, dang.
I guess we have to disagree on body temperature. Is there anything I gets annoying? Like just now when you walked in here, maybe 3 times in a row, someone came up to you to shake your hand, and you can't shake hands.
Yes.
Does that happen every day?
Oh, it happens everywhere I go. It's hilarious, especially the people. Especially if I'm out with my friends and then somebody drunk comes up to me.
Oh, they're probably sitting there waiting.
Like this, and yeah, shake my hand. They're like, why won't you shake my hand, bro? I'm like, I can't. And they're like, what do you mean you can't? I'm like, I can't. And then my friends come up and they grab their hand and slap them. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's all right, man.
Because so you must just sit there like, they don't know.
They don't know. They just come up, they shake my hand, and they're like, why would you shake my hand? I'm like, I can't. And they're like, why do I? They look at themselves, and then my friends will grab them, they put them down.
So is that something in your mind that sticks out as something that would be a neat goal for you to have? Would be able
a great goal.
Just getting to shake someone's hand?
Oh, I can't wait till I can fully lift this arm.
You're close, man.
I'm close. I just gotta get this wrist going and this little bicep to curl it up. Man.
Nah, you're gonna be good, man. I'm telling you, and I know you heard this 1,000 times, but your story is it's not even your recovery is amazing, but it's your attitude that's incredible, and I think would be the true deed that you're doing, the true mitzvah here, as Jews say, the mitzvah is people now, God forbid, when this happens to anyone else, the second that they get conscious of it, they're like, Eric LeGrand, I've seen someone do this. There's a story of someone who started out, had no chance, who's made progress and progress and progress.
And I have an inspiration too. Adam Taylor-Farrell played for Penn State back in 2000. Was playing as a freshman. He was a cornerback playing Ohio State. breaks his neck. They tell him the same thing. He'll never do this, never do that. He's up walking. He's an attorney down in South Jersey now. I believe he's a part of the Penn State board and everything. And that's my inspiration. When I see him walking around married with a
He's
family,
walking around and he's walking.
always walking and everything. That's when so they don't know, that hard work and that determination you have in a person. They told him 1 in 10,000 of a person, and his dad said, "Good, my son's 1 in a million," and he's up walking.
Wow. Hey, his name is Eric LeGrand. Where can people find you on Twitter? And
You can find me at Eric LeGrand 52 on Twitter and my Instagram, and Eric LeGrand just on Facebook, and I'm all over the place on my social media. I'm always on there, so tweet me, follow me, just share your support, and hopefully see you out there on Saturday at the walk. It's down at High Point Solution Stadium, which I still call Rutgers Stadium, right on Bush campus in Piscataway.
all right, now let's end it with a good, awkward, non-handshake.
Hey,
Thanks, bro.
thank
Appreciate you, man.